Hey everyone, here we have the ASUS Vivobook X1400E. Now we've got a lot to cover and not a lot of time. So rather than giving a long 10-minute review, I'm gonna blast right through this to see if this is a good computer and if you should buy one yourself. Let's start with the LCD screen, which is kind of a disappointment. It's not even an FHD screen, it is a 720p monitor, but it's not all that bright and it's kind of muddled. So even though it's a matte display and it's gonna help kind of prevent all the shiny lights and everything in it, it's not the best panel to look at. I do think ASUS should have made it a little bit brighter. The colors are kind of muted and all in all, it's kind of fatiguing on the eyes and it doesn't have any kind of nifty features like touchscreen, HDR support, or anything like that. The panel on this computer is really a disappointment, especially for a computer that costs more than $400. There is a thin little cheap plastic bezel around it, so that will make it easy to service should you accidentally break the screen. As far as the keyboard and the trackpad are concerned, they are absolutely adequate. Trackpad's a little bit small, but it doesn't ghost too bad. Keyboard itself, tactile, it's responsive, and you shouldn't make a whole lot of mistakes. Though that said, ASUS should have put a bigger trackpad in it just to kind of give you a little bit of a kiss on the cheek. Overall materials on this are kind of cheap and plasticky, but that said, I don't think that the hinges are gonna have a problem breaking away from the chassis like they do in some of the cheaper Lenovo's and HPs, and overall the hinge quality seems okay. And even though it's plastic, it is lightweight, so you should be able to toss this thing in and out of a backpack and give it maybe a little bit of abuse, but I would be careful with it if you're like a constant traveler or a student that is maybe not so kind to their laptop. Input and output on it is, well, needless to say, disappointing. You do have a headphone jack right here, and you just have two regular USB ports Type A. And then on this side, you've got one USB Super Speed port, an HDMI port, a USB-C Super Speed port where you cannot charge it, and then of course the regular charging port where you can charge it because it doesn't run on solar energy. As I said again, features are pretty lackluster. You don't have anything fancy like a nice webcam. Webcam quality on it is frankly kind of blech. Here is what that looks like now. This is a test of the webcam. As you can see, it's kind of clear and probably okay for work stuff, but overall it's a little bit stuttery and kind of blown out. You do have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, but you don't have any kind of Windows Hello compatible camera. You don't have a fingerprint reader. It is just a very standard notebook all in all. Spec-wise, it comes with an i3 processor, also comes with a 1TB NVMe solid state drive, and 16GB of RAM. All to say that it is pretty quick on its feet, and they give you a lot of bang for your buck in terms of storage, and it could handle things like multitasking and a lot of Chrome, Windows, Firefox, email, all that good stuff that you throw at it. But don't expect it to game. It is definitely not designed for that. You may be able to get away with some Minecraft, but certainly not any AAA titles. But overall, they hinder it in other places that even though you have all that power, you can't do a whole lot with it. So who is this computer for? Well, ultimately, I would say this is for somebody just looking for a cheap sub $500 laptop. I do think that you get better bang for your buck when you go with either Dell or Lenovo, but if you absolutely can't find anything else and you just need something quick and easy to sort of swing in and out of a backpack and just kind of use it as a beater, then this laptop will be absolutely perfect for things like doing Word, Excel, spreadsheets, and that kind of thing. But I wouldn't buy this to do any kind of podcasting, gaming, or video editing, or even picture editing either. LCD screen on it bends about this far, so you know that's adequate enough, but it's not like it's a touch screen, so there's not much you need to bother with it that way either. Speakers on it are garbage, as you would expect on a computer this size and this price. Battery life on it is also disappointing, maxing out in about 3 to 4 hours after practical use, and that's even if you turn the brightness of the screen all the way down. So if you are a traveler or a student or somebody like that, you're probably gonna have a difficult time if you have no accessible way to plug in for power. All in all, it's not the worst computer I've ever tested, but in the sub $500 range, I do think that it is slightly overpriced, although I am seeing a trend up in computer prices, so it does fall in line with most stuff that's available. That said, if I had to pick between this or a Lenovo, a Dell, or something like that, I would go with either the Lenovo or the Dell because their 14-inch form factors are better than this ASUS. ASUS generally makes good computers, but this one is just kind of a dud. So overall, it's not a horrible computer, and if you buy it, I think that you would like it. It's just not the best bang for your buck. But that said, if there's nothing else available, it will do its job just fine. Anyway, if you have any questions about the ASUS Vivobook X1400E, feel free to reach out to us in the comments section. Please like and subscribe, and we will be back with another video really soon.